A really important aspect of leadership and a leadership tool, and we'll actually give you two in this particular category, is needing to ensure that our team and our crew continually improves its performance and your own performance. And that incremental improvement, even 1%, done over time or over the course of a campaign, will really lead to some huge gains in terms of improvement, in terms of safety and efficiencies and all of those things that go into an incident. So before we dive into the tools specifically, I'm going to tell you about some ground rules that apply to both of these tools, and just coincidentally it's the after action review and what we call a chainsaw. Those are the two tools that we'll talk about. But setting the stage, setting the environment during these after action reviews, or this ability, or this time where we're learning lessons, setting the ground rules is very, very important. So some of the rules are as follows. It is always about the what, and it's not about the who. Okay? So if you're conducting the after action review or the chainsaw, and you start to hear specific names or finger pointing, that is a red flag and something that needs to be nipped right at the bud, because it's about the what, it's about the mission, not about an individual or individuals. People need to be open and honest. And that kind of ties into what we just talked about. If I know that it's a safe environment, I'm not going to be attacked, and frankly, I'm not using this forum to attack somebody else, I'm going to be a little bit more open and honest. It's about achieving the mission, a mission first kind of mentality. Okay? So, it's about the what, not about the who. People need to be open and honest. And as a facilitator, sometimes we need to make sure that we draw everybody's opinion or thoughts out of the discussion. What often happens is the new person, for example, typically won't say anything because that they're not comfortable or confident saying something. And I would submit to you that in fact the fresh eyes often has a really, really good perspective on it. So making sure that everybody is involved and everyone's included. That also has gains in terms of that respect piece, where if you call on somebody, it means that you actually respect their opinion. You want to hear them, that their opinion matters. So that's important for our team cohesiveness, and that's important for building that respect or that referent source of influence that we've talked about throughout this program. Now, the outcomes of the AARs and the chainsaw are very, very important, because I think we've all been in situations where we've had lessons learned. We've got lessons learned here. We do a big document. It circulates. Some people tweak it. We sign off on it. And then we, again, recirculate it or we post it on a website. Say, hey, folks, here's our after action review. Go read it. Well, that's a very, very good use of resources to spread the word on a large scale. But what we're often talking about is the small unit improvement. And we do that through this AAR and this chainsaw. So what you can do is, following the after action review or chainsaw, you do a summation. And here's the other thing, leaders. The next day and continually keep referring back to the lessons that you identified. So we're constantly and consistently planting it and reinforcing what right looks like and the things we've already talked about. So that's your job as a leader, is to continually build and build and build and build on those improvements. One of the ways, again, you can do it is by consistently reinforcing it into the crew through conversations, reviews. When there's a little bit of downtime, maybe have a conversation, say, hey, by the way, let's try to focus on these types of points today, so on and so forth. So in the next lessons, we're actually going to dive into a little bit more specifics what those two tools are, the after action review and the chainsaw.